Everything, people, Phil Kent here, and just grabbing another quick Facebook live. Not sticking to a time today. Sometimes your time restriction can sort of hold you back a little bit. So what I've just decided to do around about 2ish, I did a quick post on my Facebook earlier saying that I was going to be going live, and if anybody wants to jump on, they can do so. So I put a little title on this one, getting ready for a new challenge, because that's what it's all about. I mentioned it on yesterday's live, and I mentioned it again today because it's nearly there. I've got a really good idea because I wanted to do something similar to what I did on the 50-day challenge, but obviously didn't want to do the same thing. I wanted to push myself a little bit further, because that's the idea of challenges. You've got to push yourself out there. Absolutely got to push yourself out there. It's no good doing a challenge that you know that you're gonna easily do. It's just not what you got to do. So how you doing, James? How you doing, Michelle? Because people watching. So this new live is in shape. I think I've got a good idea, and it's going to probably start off on Saturday. So if anybody wants to jump in and join in, let me know. But don't think I do easy challenges, because I never do. The idea of doing challenges is that it's a little bit tougher, it's a little bit harder. You know, you got to push yourself, you got to commit yourself, get yourself accountable, and things like that. So that is why when I did the 50-day, and those who were around a few years ago, and I did a 100-day blitz, and that was a huge challenge that went on for about 3 months or more. I don't do things in small numbers. That's not the idea. It's not the way to do it. I do things on a larger scale, and the idea is to try and get people to join in. I've never had anybody go right through to the end on any of my challenges I've done. So it would be a first if somebody started it with me and made it to the end. Generally, they don't; they drop off, and that is where your consistency drops off. It's as simple as that. Because so many people say, "Yeah, I'll do it," and it's the same in your online business. When you're building your online business, people say, "I'll join you, I'll do this, I'll do that," and generally speaking, a lot of them do not. So you can't rely on other people to be around. You can't rely on other people to join in. Like I said, it's the same with the challenges. I've done several over the last however long it may be, and I have not had one person that's still been there at the end who started off at the beginning. And that just shows you, because their commitment drops off. They think it's a great idea at the time. They might last a few days, and then they'll start dropping off. They lose interest. They lose consistency, and there you go. But the reason why challenges are so effective, it creates that routine, it creates that commitment, it creates that accountability. And especially if you're the one to set them, you've got to stick to it, because you'll always get people watching them. Okay, you'll get people watching you do challenges, and 90% of the people, believe it or not, they're watching you because they're wanting you to mess up. They're wanting you to fail your challenge. It's just the way it's the way the industry is. Especially people, you got your haters and your naysayers, or all the rest of it. They want you to not complete it. That's what they want you to do, because they're waiting for you to not complete, so they can say, "Oh, you didn't make your own challenge," and stuff like that. That's just the way that people are. Well, if anybody knows me, I've not yet not completed a challenge. So when I set myself one, it's normally pretty good. I generally stick to it. Barring like in life-changing an emergency, then I very rarely. I haven't not finished one yet. But that's just the way that people are. And it's the same as when you're doing your online business. You can promote your program or your company, whatever you're in, promote whatever you're doing. And the main reason what the watchers are doing, they want you to fail. More people want you to fail than succeed. It's just the way these people mindsets work. But and the best way is to say, "Hey, look, I'm going to do this. I'm going to complete it." And then you will get the people at the end that would say, "Hey, well done, you made it to the end," like I did on the 50-day challenge. People were watching it, waiting for me to miss a day on my lives. It didn't happen. I had various people jumping on my lives on my 50-day challenge, and by the end, on day 50, if you haven't seen the day 50 live, it's worth going back through with Facebook to check it out, because it's pretty good. We even had Wayne Crowe himself come on and jump on for 20 minutes, and we had some awesome people from the LSP Academy on there, and that's what it's all about. That's when the people recognize, hey, look, he's stuck to his challenges, all these different people on board, and you've seen it through to the end, and it made a massive difference. It gives you that self-branding. And that's what it's all about. The reason you're doing these things is because you've got to be branding yourself. Don't be branding your company. Don't be branding the program that you're with, because all you are then is you're just a free advertising tool for them. Why should you do that? You see people's profiles that, their cover picture or their cover photo, should I say, that would change according to what program they're in. I mean, it's like a billboard, or it's crazy. It's a crazy way to operate. You don't want to be doing that. Be the person that people want to join, be the person that people want to be a part of, and stuff like that. Lead by example. I've covered all these things in so many lives, and you can see people when they're doing things wrong, because in this industry, there's such a changing industry. And there's so many poor programs around, there's so many scams about, and a trust factor is a lot lower because a lot of people have lost a lot of money and there's a lot of scammers around. So become the person that people want to trust. You've got to build your know, like, and trust factor, as we all speak about. And one of the main ways you can do that is by getting on Facebook, getting on your lives, being your profile. Because what's people going to do if you make new connections? You do it yourself. If you make a new connection, one of the first things that you do normally, or the average person does, they'll go check out your profile, and see who's this person, what they're about, and that's when you can spot fake accounts, you can spot new accounts. I'm not saying that every new account is a fakey or whatever, but it's a high chance that it is. I don't make any dealings with someone who's got a brand new account, because you don't even know if that person is actually their picture. You can look back. You want to be looking to deal with people that have been around for a little while. They've had their Facebook account a while. They've got a picture of themselves, hopefully. You can only check that by other pictures. It's not a picture of the dog or the cat or a flower. You need to be dealing with people. It's a people industry. And, sometimes people will come to me and say, I can't get anybody to join me in my business. And they haven't even got a picture of themselves. So why should that person join this unknown person, or their car, picture of the car, whatever it may be? I mean, come on, if you're in an industry, you've got to be branding yourself, be that person. People want to know who they're talking to, who they're dealing with, so make sure you're becoming a person, not a picture. It's so simple, but it's crazy the amount that don't do it, and so if you want to be on Facebook talking about your breakfast, hey, go for it. But if you want to be on there to build a business, and if you're branding yourself at all time, it gets people to know you. That's what it's all about, is making connections. So I'm getting myself ready for a new challenge. I might do another live later on. It's going to be a big one. It's going to be spread over about a month. And I've got a really good idea for it now. I've been sort of bashing a few ideas around. I wanted to mix it up with what I did before, obviously using some Facebook Lives and stuff like that. And at the end of the day, a challenge will benefit you if you join in. I'm 100% guarantee it, because it will create that accountability, that consistency, and everything else that you do need. So, this is why you should always be doing them. Set your own challenges. It goes along the same lines of the short-term, long-term goals and things like that. But you should always be setting them. It makes you accountable. So I'm getting myself ready. I'm probably going to kick the new challenge off on Saturday. It's Thursday today. And I'm probably going to, I might reveal it later on. If I don't reveal it later, I'll reveal it definitely tomorrow, obviously. But I had a few people message me, a couple of the regular ones message me saying, what's your new challenge? What is it? Because people are just interested, but I like to keep them curious as well. Like I said, set yourselves one. I'll be very surprised if anybody who starts it or joins it or says they're going to, because you always get people say, yeah, I'll do it. I mean, I had it on the 50 day. I think it was 4 or 5 people that started on day one and said, yeah, we'll do this. But by the end of that week, none of them were there. I mean, that's just what happens. And all I had to do then was one Facebook Live for 50 days. They didn't even last a week. And this is when it comes down to when people say, I'm struggling to get leads, I'm struggling to get people interested in, etc. Well, if they've got no consistency for a simple little challenge like that, which it was really, just one live a day for a consistent period, and they didn't even last that for a week, then how much effort are they generally putting in when they say, I'm working really hard, I've been doing loads? They haven't. It's as simple as that. because it does. Isn't people say it's easy? It's not easy, but it's got to be. It comes down to consistency, and that's the difference. You know, you've got to be consistent, and you've got to be working hard and covering all your angles and doing what you do. So I'm going to try and throw another one out later on. Not too sure what time, maybe 6 p.m. UK time, something like that, which is around about 4 hours from now, wherever you're watching. And I'm probably going to show what the challenge is then, instead of, so it gives people a couple of days notice to get involved. It's going to be spread over about a month, around about 30 days, and it's going to take a little bit of commitment, but if you stick to it and stick to the end, I guarantee you're going to see some results for whatever you're doing, whatever you're programming in, because that's what it does. It creates that momentum. That's why some of these other programs, say like RPM with a 30-day TikTok challenge and stuff like that, that's why they're in place. It creates that routine, it creates that consistency, and then it becomes habit forming. So it's molded into a way that you've got this reward at the end. But what it does without realizing, it creates that consistency and routine, like I said, that accountability, which is the big one. And also you're going to see results because you're doing these things that you should be doing realistically on a regular and on a daily basis. So just going to jump on to a quick live. I've done some long ones. When I was doing the 50-day challenge, I think the longest one we did over there was about an hour and 15 minutes. I've been putting some more work together for the dominators I've got underneath me. I'm trying to, because a lot of them want some sort of done for you system. So I'm going to start making a shareable funnel, which should be free, but it will be for dominators only, and they can get a copy of it. That way, you got to, don't give away free stuff. Make sure that people are, if you're putting time and effort into it, then make sure you're getting something back for that time and effort. Otherwise, you'll just be drained. I've been there in the past and made those mistakes, but make sure you're getting rewarded for your efforts. And there's nothing wrong with helping the team, but make sure you're getting something back. So little tips there. So I hope you found it interesting. So I'm going to probably try and jump on again in about 4 hours or so from now. I'm not going to put time on it. Leave these times open now. It just gives it a bit of a more impromptu live, start doing them, and hopefully that way people can just get involved, see what's going on, and find out what the challenge is. So if you're up for the challenge, check out the later one today, about 4 hours from now. I'm not going to stick a time on it, but thereabouts. I'll just jump on, let people know what it is. I'll do another live tomorrow, going over it once again, and I'll kick it off probably on Saturday. That's the plan. That's where we're at. So if you're interested, drop me a DM. I can tell you a little bit more, but always going to be revealed on the lives. That's the idea of it. Get people watching, get people involved, and then I highly recommend that people do them. Whether they do, it's up to them. But if you want to see results, you want to create consistency and get that accountability, then get involved and do your own. So whatever you had a great day. Thanks for watching. I'll be jumping on again later. And until then, bye for now.